And we're live.
And we're live right at the
Good to go. So I'm actually flying semi-solo today. Shawn is MIA, pretending to work for once, and I actually have some friends in the house. I have the Santanas, Stephanie,
Hi.
a.k.a. Amazonian BJJ,
Yep, that's
and
me.
Jason. Are you still using Showtime?
Nah, it was airtime.
Airtime, that's what it was. No, you went with Showtime for a little bit.
Nah, never Showtime.
So
but
Airtime.
it was airtime for a while. Yeah.
And what's it now?
I don't know. I was actually just thinking about going back to Sergeant, which was something they named me way back in the day because of the military and stuff.
Right.
But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe next fight I might come out as Sergeant Santana.
Can you be Sergeant Airtime?
Could be.
That'd be
Could
kinda
be.
cool.
Hey, free country.
Would you
right?
get in trouble for that?
Nah, not at all.
So they like,
Time.
because they're pretty supportive. So you're in the reserves, right?
On National Guard, yes.
And are they pretty supportive when you have to kind of say, hey, I can't come in, I got to fight or anything like that? Has that popped up yet?
Well, it's not a hey, I can't come in. It's it's a pretty please.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a pretty please at this point. But yeah, they are pretty supportive. They love it. I have a great command, and they are supportive. 1218, shout out to 1218 Transportation Company in West Palm Beach.
So are you going to tell them to actually listen to the podcast? I mean, if you're going to throw out, I'm going to throw out there too.
Yeah.
All
Listen to the podcast. 1218, all
you
the
have
soldiers.
to tell them. You're not going to tell them on the podcast that they haven't heard yet.
I will, but they'll hear it.
It's
They'll
going to be
hear
a
it.
direct order.
Yeah.
Oh, cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's
Salud.
usually the
Mango
routine,
lovely.
even though,
Salud.
someone decided not to partake in water. So the reason why you guys are here, besides the fact that I wanted you on here anyway, is you got an event coming up, Stephanie.
Ew.
Can you actually just talk about what it is that you have put together? Because the Amazonian BJJ is something you put together, 4 or 5 years ago now?
Oh my gosh, it's
Oh,
probably been like
little
close
Not
to
that I'm trying to throw age out
6.
there or nothing.
Like 6 or 7 years, I want to say now. I don't. Probably closer to 6. So I started Amazonian Jiu-Jitsu just to have more women come together and train Jiu-Jitsu open mats. Just try to build the sisterhood, because the men in the sport, I feel like they've had a brotherhood for a really long time. And I wanted to build a sisterhood. So we started doing open mats and seminars, and it's been great. But my one thing that I've always wanted to do is have a women's only tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Just haven't had, I wouldn't say the support, but more guidance to
Right.
kind of create the tournament and make it happen. So I've been training with Aviv Jiu-Jitsu, the Aviv team, with Luana Alzugir and Anna Carolina Vieira. And Luana has guided me into what I should do, given me plenty of, suggestions about, how the tournament should go, how the brackets will go, how many people we need on the team, just a lot. So, we're putting everything into place, and it's coming together, so I'm really excited.
Do you have a date?
Yep, the date is Sunday, August 11th. Sorry, I have everything written down.
You're checking your phone. You should know the event date,
I
the
know
event
the
you're putting
event
together.
date, but I just have other information.
She's under pressure.
is
She's under
pertinent.
I
pressure.
love the
Under
fact how
pressure.
you said, it sounds like you have an agenda. I didn't come in with notes.
I have notes for everything. Notes on notes. That's how my mind works. So Sunday, August 11th, we're going to start early because we have 2 divisions. It's going to be a beginner's division with 4 beginner teams.
Right.
And then we have an advanced division with 4 advanced teams.
So how are you actually, what's the setup? Is it a bracket thing, weight divisions? Are you doing the
Yeah.
quintet style, teams?
Similar to quintet.
Right.
So it's 5 women per team, no weight divisions.
Hold on. Okay, I was about to say, the women are actually going to go with, weight where you have to, say what weight you are? That's kind of risking it.
No. We're not even going to waste time with that. We're not going to go with age divisions. We're not going to go with weights. It's pretty much an absolute tournament.
Right.
5 women per team. So,
Zenobia Open.
what's that?
Zenobia Open.
Yes, the Zenobia Open is the name.
Zenobia Open?
Yes. So Zenobia was a queen
Uh-huh.
in ancient times, and she pretty much declared herself independent from Rome and ruled over her own country. So she's pretty badass. And
That's a new one to me. I've never heard that.
yeah, look her up, Queen Zenobia, somewhere
That's
in the
cool.
Middle East. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, She's inspiration. Amazonian is also kind of linked to, Wonder Woman and the Amazonian
Right.
women and the myths that go along with that, and just a tribe of women.
Right.
So that's, always where I kind of pull the inspiration from.
So you're gonna have like some like idol type trophy, or
We're gonna have the crest of Hippolyta.
you were like, are you trying to throw a history lesson
do
or a
my
jiu-jitsu
research.
tournament? I'm
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to like
Do my
figure it out
research
here.
just to tie together to make
Right.
sense.
It's not just cool names out here. We're
Right,
doing
it's
some
like you-
research.
It's like they just threw a bunch of letters together.
She's right. She is the queen of the Amazons. Also Wonder Woman's mother
Right.
in the modern day comics. So it's gonna be a crest, like an eagle type crest, and we're gonna have some shirts made, hopefully, with that on it.
Right.
And for the competitors, it's gonna be 40 women. We're just trying to get some of the advanced teams together. All the beginner team spots are taken. So
Are
we already
they?
got 20 women registered, ready to go, ready to compete.
So what's like the max limit as far as the entire tournament? How many people?
It's gonna be 40.
It's 40.
Yeah, so 4 teams for beginner, 4 teams for advanced. Total of 8 teams, 5 women.
How are
each.
you splitting up beginner and advanced? Like 1 to 4 years beginner or what?
Yeah, it's gonna be white to blue belt.
Okay.
And on the beginner teams, it's included teens. So some of the teens that have been training for years in their orange belt or green belt, they can go ahead and jump on a beginner team.
That's kind of cool though. At
Yeah.
least having like a beginner thing instead of like not throwing them to the sharks.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of gives them an opportunity to step up, and they train with us all the time. I
Yeah.
train, like my daughter. She's 14 years old. She's an orange belt. She trains with us constantly.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have closeouts?
What do you mean?
Like,
closeouts?
are you gonna force teammates to compete against each other?
Well,
No, nothing's
where
ever
it gets-
forced. One.
this is where it gets a little tricky because we have our team set,
Mm-hmm.
and some women they train with Aviv,
Right.
and they are on that team, but they also train on a different gym. And if that gym
Yeah.
creates a team,
And they're on that one.
yeah, they're gonna have to go up against each other. But the thing is, we don't know who's gonna go up against who
Right.
until the actual date.
Right.
So each team, they have their competitors 1 through 5.
So you're not even drawing the brackets until like they
No,
show up. That's
we
cool.
don't draw the brackets at all.
Right.
The referee is gonna call number 1 from team A, number 1 from team B. That's when they meet
Right.
and they go.
That's cool.
So it's
So wait, who's reffing?
well, I have a couple of refs in mind.
Some special
One is-
guests, aka refs.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
one
not
is
allowed to
gonna
say?
be- No, it's gonna be. Well, I have to remind him. Jay-Z.
Jay-Z is
This,
gonna.
this
hold
is
on.
a reminder.
Hold on.
This is a reminder
He
again.
has
Oh my
trains
gosh.
with IBJJF and is a official
I am not-
referee.
I am not by any means putting down Jay-Z's knowledge of the rules.
Yeah.
What I am merely stating is everybody else's knowledge of Jay-Z's time management capabilities is the only thing that I'm saying.
But-
the man was late to his own brown belt and black belt ceremony is all I'm saying.
I know.
See, the key to Jay-Z
Uh-huh.
is to bribe him with food,
That's
and that's
very
what people
true.
don't understand. Stephanie
that
here
already.
is a master baker, master
Yeah,
baker,
there's no way he's gonna turn
phenomenal
down like
baker.
the mango cake or
So
anything
it's
like that.
already, remember that? So
It
it's
is mango
already,
season. We were just talking about.
it's already
Oh,
set in
man.
stone.
It's so bad.
It's already set in
Somehow,
stone.
actually, I give Jay-Z credit. Actually, he beat me to the going away barbecue we had like a couple of
Oh,
weeks
really?
ago. Like, I got there and like Jay-Z's there. There's no way Jay-Z beat me to a barbecue. And then I realized it's a barbecue.
It's food.
That's why.
Yes, food
He was
is in
actually
food.
there before Pulga, before my professor. He was there before George. He was there before everybody else.
Setting
So
up
I'll
the
tell you,
mats.
I'll tell you a little something about that. I'm actually, when you hear this, Jay-Z, I'm proud of you because this is validation that what we talked about is working, and that's 10 minutes prior. In the military, we have a saying: if you're on time, you're late.
Yeah, if you're
late,
early on
if
the
you're
yeah.
early on time, if you're on time, you're late. So Jay-Z has kind of been adopting that philosophy and trying to get to his events, whatever he has going on, a little
He's gotten
earlier.
better with coaching for the
So-
fighters for sure. He's definitely gotten better with that.
Oh, with
So
the-
good job,
the
Jay-Z,
fighters,
good job.
Yeah, for the
When he's
fighters.
cornering someone, I'll never forget this story he told me. He goes, his first fight, his coach showed up so late. His coach showed up when he was walking to the mat to have the fight, and he was freaking out. So he pretty much is like, whatever. If my fighter's gotta wait, I had to wait too. It's part
Right.
of the process.
That's so bad. It's like that's his. There's different ways of handing the torch, and that's JC's like, you wait.
Yeah. It's fine.
That's so bad.
Internally
So all right,
freaking
so
out.
JC is one of the refs.
Jay-Z's one of the refs, and I am working on Professor Bruna Burns
Oh yeah.
to be another ref because she's very good at the point system and
Yeah.
the rules.
And yelling at people.
She is awesome at yelling at people and intimidation. But I'm joking.
It's-
I love you, Bruna.
Well, she'd definitely be really good for like towards the finals and stuff like that. I think she'd probably be super focused in on.
Yeah,
like,
she's
very-
really diplomatic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's all about being fair.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know that she, under pressure, she's not going to make, you know, a
Yeah.
stupid mistake or nobody's going to get hurt
And
under
she's
her
seen
watch.
so many high level matches that this would just be
Yeah.
like a breeze for her.
Yeah. She said she can't commit to the whole day, probably because Josh and Pedro will be running the show towards
Yeah.
the end. But
Yeah.
So I got Jay-Z and Bruna. If any other IBJJF trained referees are open, please contact me.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. So yeah, it's gonna be IBJJF rules with the gi, and we're gonna go. I'm leaning towards for the advanced divisions. We're gonna go according to black belt rules. Starting from like purple belt and brown belt, all my coaches have always told me, all right, you're getting up to this level, you need to be aware of foot locks, ankle locks, leg locks, all this kind of stuff. So, you know, if everyone's comfortable, of course I have to go over it at the rules meeting to make sure everyone's comfortable with that. But at least for the advanced divisions, I'm open to, you know.
So
going
why'd
for
you
all the
decide for the
positions.
IBJJF rules and not like ADCC rules? At least for like the finals, let's say.
Well, it's in the gi, and
Right.
sometimes I feel like that's kind of the gold standard as of right now.
Right.
It's all written in stone. There's no, you know, kind of disputing it. So, and
Unless you're
I think
Keenan,
most
but
of the coaches, I think most of the coaches have a good understanding of that rule set. Also, you know, I am hoping to do a no-gi women's tournament
That'd
in
be
the
good.
future because a lot of women have asked me, "Oh, you're gonna do no-gi? Are you gonna do no-gi? Can we do super fights?"
Right.
You know, there's a big opening for women's tournaments.
Yeah,
You know,
no, for sure.
It's really growing. It's just grown so much since I started, which is amazing. So, you know, but I just want to have a successful first event before we
Right.
think about what's next.
I mean, it's not easy having 40 people to manage, and you're doing two separate divisions, like skill levels, for a first event.
Yeah, I'm trying
sure.
to get some more. So advanced women, advanced purple belt to black belt women that are interested in joining a team, contact me also. Because we have a couple advanced teams together that are locked in, but we still need a couple more. So, you know, I know they're scattered throughout the state, but you know,
Right.
jump on a team. You know, this is it's kind of like an in-house tournament,
Yeah.
in my opinion. It's gonna be at a gym.
Right.
It's gonna be at, you know.
But Five
familiar
Grappling does it,
place.
and it's not really in-house like that. They do it
Oh, okay.
at Studio 540.
Yeah, that's
So-
true.
so-
Yeah, but I think it's a little more intimate. You know, it's at a
Well,
gym.
it's the first one,
the
and it's
first
also like
one.
you're pulling the people that you know more than.
Yes.
It's easier than reaching out to someone like, oh, in Texas, be like, hey, why don't you come over here and compete? They're like, who are you, and
Yeah.
why do you have my number?
Yeah.
You know.
How did you get my number?
Right. So, but it's better that way because I think that way it's a little bit less of pressure on everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna get more of just heavy duty competition. I mean, for bragging rights for the first one too is pretty good.
Yeah. I'm hoping, you know, I just want everyone to come out and have fun. You know.
No
what I
super
mean?
fights.
No super fights yet, but I think the team environment, having 5 women per team, is going to motivate these women to like, all right, we're on a team.
That'd be
Let's
pretty
get in
good.
the gym. Let's get training. Let's support each other.
Yeah.
You only need to win 3 out of the 5, you know, to advance your
Yeah.
division. So, you know, I think for me, it's going to be fun.
What are you running like the actual hours as?
What do you mean?
Like what times is it supposed to start and end?
Well, we're starting. I want everyone to be there at 8 in the morning so we can get started the matches
Man.
by 9.
Okay.
That's the goal.
And you don't have any idea like what you'd want to like cut it off at?
No.
Because I mean that's
It's gonna be
good.
5-minute rounds.
Yeah.
You kind of short and sweet with that. So
Well, I'm just
technically-
thinking about it just from like doing events for so long that sometimes having that cutoff time adds more to the stress instead of just sitting there and saying like we'll go with the flow, see what happens. You can always speed it up, slow it down any way that is necessary instead of be like we only have this until like 3 o'clock and we need to go like screw everybody else.
Yeah,
You know,
no,
at
I
least
don't
you'd be
wanna do
like,
that.
all right, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna do this. Like, especially if you have only like 2 or 3 refs and they're doing all these matches.
Yeah.
At least being able to constantly switch, you'll have everybody kind of mellowed out,
Yeah.
be able to
We
focus,
do
have
have
fun.
the gym space. Hensel Gracie Lake Worth is hosting, and the black belt there, Santos, has been really open to having the event there, and we have the space for the whole day.
Can we commentate? Can we do like a live broadcast and we'll commentate?
Please.
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome, yeah.
Yeah, we
That'd
can
be
do it because I could
awesome.
set it up. We could set up the camera,
Yeah.
just have it broadcasting like live and
Yeah, that'd
do
be
commentating.
cool. It's better than flow grappling.
I've had my statements on flow grappling. I have to keep
Have
quiet
you?
at the time.
Okay,
Yeah.
we won't. No comment. We can edit that out.
I think you could just go to like any jiu-jitsu forum and just type in that name and see the response that you get.
It's
Like,
true.
It's too much money for what people get back.
Yeah.
It's way too much money. And
Yeah.
then it's having had to deal with that kind of technology and like how much it costs and stuff like that. Like I don't know if you know, like Copa Podio reached out to me a couple of years ago, and they
Okay.
wanted me to put the first one in the U.S. together.
Awesome.
Like they wanted me to put it together. I'm like, guys, I need a bigger budget than this. Like to rent the truck to have everything streaming and everything like that alone, it's like 20 grand. And like for them, it's a little bit cheaper, but you have to have good internet, and that's why they always end up getting cut off or lag or something like that because you end up having what 6, 8 cameras, all trying to stream, and then you have to have a switchboard and stuff like that. It's a lot of work. So
Yeah.
the money is necessary, but you're not always gonna get that service. So at least that way, if you only have one mat, that's an easy setup. You could do that easy.
Yeah, we're gonna have one mat going. I want to like really highlight the competitors, you know, because I appreciate them supporting me as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I can't do this alone,
No.
and I can't do this without the black belts and the higher belts that I've known for years saying, yeah, Steph, I'm in. I'm gonna get my team together. You know, it wouldn't be possible without them. So I told them all, like, send me pictures of your team. I want to highlight you all leading up to the event.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, because they're putting in work.
Yeah.
You gotta highlight them, you know?
Well, it's definitely a lot of work building up to it.
Yeah.
Putting an event together like that, I don't think most people realize. Oh, it's easy. Just have a mat there, and then you just have a ref, and then just invite a couple of people.
Tell
It's-
people to sign up, and they'll just hand over
Yeah.
their money easy.
Who's paying for the
Alright.
time at the gym? You know. So
Yeah.
no, yeah, let's figure it out. That'd definitely
Okay.
be pretty cool. I know Shawn would be up for it for sure.
Yeah, you guys are great commentators. You know
Well,
your stuff.
One of us is.
Okay.
Shawn, not so
He
much.
gets a little off topic.
Not
he
so
has
much.
commentating experience.
He has
He does.
he's gotten a
He
lot better.
does,
He's
yeah.
gotten a lot better. I give him
For
credit.
XFN.
I bust his balls a
Shout out
lot,
to Daniel.
but he's gotten a lot better with the XFN stuff because if
Yeah.
you listen to some of the first ones, like, bro, you guys are just basically making like dick jokes the entire time.
Oh my gosh,
like nobody.
focus,
Yeah,
please.
let's like we gotta act above 12 years old for a couple of hours. But no, actually, him and Blake have gotten a lot better at it.
Okay.
So yeah, but it's like anything else.
But just like experience, you know,
Yeah.
you experiencing something, you're gonna get better regardless.
The one thing he hasn't learned here yet is not to chew ice on the mic or cough.
Mm.
Can't stand that. You know how many
pretty
people
rough.
just message me like, please tell Shawn to stop coughing or chewing on the
Let's
mic.
go,
Make it
Sean. Get it
stop.
together, Sean.
Oh,
Make it
that's
stop.
so
You're not
bad.
here, Shawn.
And you think that's bad? Try
But
being this
please.
far away from him when he does. I'm like, you are just a big dumb animal.
You're gonna take the ice and just throw it at him.
I just,
That's it.
yeah, it's just whatever. But he's gotten a lot better. I'm trying to be positive here. He's gotten a lot better. So you started the whole Amazonian thing where you actually were doing the open mats and stuff. Would you say 7 years ago?
Yeah.
What
6
were
or
you,
7
blue
years
belt?
ago. I was a blue belt. Yep. And I only
First
knew
guest,
probably like
Michelle
10,
Nicolini.
10 women in jiu-jitsu.
Really?
In the state of
That
Florida.
was in the entire
Mm.
state. It was crazy
I
back
hadn't
then.
I hadn't rolled with a woman outside of competition until I was a blue belt.
Really?
Yeah. There wasn't that many of us. You know?
That's true. Well, I have that conversation all the time with Shawn. It's just kind of like there's not that much, and little by little, it's more and more. It's funny. Someone was actually having an argument. I don't know if you ever go on the Jiu-Jitsu like subreddit, like if you ever go on Reddit. Once in a while, there'll be an argument as to I don't understand why they have to have a women's only class. Like, it's like I don't think.
Because
Imagine being a
Training
white
as a
belt.
fighter is a
only
train.
class.
Yeah. Well, I mean, part of it is obviously it can get awkward because then you deal with a couple of douchebags that just are too much muscle, or they're just inappropriate, or either way they don't realize what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then the other half, it's you're not really gonna get anything technique wise if you're dealing with just a big dumb gorilla.
Yeah. Just trying to protect yourself the
Yeah.
whole
And again,
time.
train as you fight, fight as you train. So when you go into a competition as a woman, you're not competing against men. You're competing against other women.
Well, even then, it's the same rationale as far as for my end anyway. Seeing it is, if you're going if you and I have rolled together, but if you're going against someone my size, you're not gonna get to be as on the attack, as more on the defensive because of my size alone. You have to worry about so much. So then when you do get into the tournament, you're so used to in that mindset that it throws you back.
Yeah, I agree.
What's your biggest hurdle, I guess, or challenge of just rolling with guys?
I would say, I've learned a lot over the years rolling with guys.
You can throw people under the bus here. Don't worry, you're
I don't
good.
want to throw anyone under the bus, but it's more of a, for me, when I roll with a guy that I know is just full of pride and can't handle it, I'm just pretty much, all right, you're gonna be in my guard the whole 5 minutes, and I don't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
So that part is frustrating because I can't work and neither can they. 'Cause they're not gonna pass my guard. You're just gonna stay there.
I mean, we're just
I'm just
throwing
saying.
Confident much,
Just
confident
saying.
much.
I'm just saying.
so much for no ego.
It's gonna stay there.
Right.
But also for guys, I get it from the other side of the coin that it's hard.
Right.
You're training with a female, especially with a higher belt female. Even if you don't have any pride, you don't know how hard you want to go with them.
Yeah.
You don't know shit, I don't want to go too easy so they can do everything and kill me, and I don't want to go too hard that I'm using muscle.
Yeah.
So there's a balance there that both I trust a lot of the training partners. I've trusted you when I've trained with you because I know that you know how to roll with me. I trust my husband, of course, because we've trained together for so long. We've kind of found the balance.
Even though I get the most attitude, I get the most attitude.
That's
just for a
jiu-jitsu
simple
couples.
suggestion,
Listen.
bro.
All right, let's just.
Look, what do you
jiu-jitsu
mean?
couples.
Oh my goodness, man! Just like last night. Last night we were at Combat Club. Shout out to Combat Club. Love you, fellas and ladies. But no, it was we had just learned a brand new technique. Basically, you're stuffing the takedown, spinning around to the back. But before you spin around to the back, you have to get proper grips and positions so
Right.
they don't reach up and grab your leg as you're turning. So I'm like, yeah, Steph, don't forget, put the arm down, grab the crook of the elbow, pin it, and then turn. And she's like this. Oh, really?
I didn't say it really. I didn't say anything.
But that is the energy
I mean-
that comes out of her pores, bro.
Because I've known you for so long, I know how you said it. So I know exactly how she answered on that one.
And how's that? No, hold on. Now we gotta hear this.
It's like, oh really? Like, thanks for telling me something I already know. That's if I wanted to do that, I would have done that.
But
I'm
a simple
not commenting
suggestion
further on
nonetheless.
this.
Simple suggestion nonetheless. And you get the death stare before come and teach me more.
Listen, I'm all about just being honest, but I've also learned that sometimes the person that makes the food gets to kind of get the leeway. If you make the food and I have to eat it and I have to trust what you put in my food, then I'll let you slide. Because I come from the same mind frame as you of being competitive, but also being critical on what you do.
I'm super critical. That
Right, but then the problem is it spills over to other people. Like, no, you can do better than that. It's not everyone's going to be receptive to that.
Yeah, I understand
This
that.
is actually an intervention on you, Jason.
Yeah, I see that. I see that.
The tables are turning.
No, I've actually had to learn how to tone that down some throughout the years because
it's a pain,
it's
right?
It's almost toxic in a way. But
for sure it is.
But then you just learn as you evolve as a person. You learn to grow, and as you grow, you learn how to deal with things and hopefully help people without being a douche.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
wait. So what belt are you now? You're brown, aren't you?
Oh, brown belt, yeah. Bruna
And
gave me a
you
brown
just
belt.
got your brown belt.
Just
So
got my brown
technically speaking, she's still ahead of you.
No,
Yeah.
no. Don't say that. For the record, we are
listen,
both
it's
brown
fun.
belts.
I have a joke.
Yeah.
I have
Congratulations,
a joke. So,
by the way.
Thank you. I have a joke. So she was promoted. She actually introduced me to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and the only reason she joined was because I would come home and do the techniques on her.
Right.
So I was like, here, let me show you how to do this armbar. Let me do this. Let me do that. It was a few months, and then she was like, well, you know what? If you're practicing on me every single night, I might as well just start doing the class myself.
Right.
And this was 10 years ago now. Long time.
Right.
Long time ago. And so we started off like that, and then I focused on the MMA aspect and deployments with the military and stuff like that. So as life gets in the way, she's not as hindered. She continues to progress. She was
not as
promoted.
hindered.
Yeah.
It's like she didn't have kids.
I didn't have pregnancies and injuries to
but
deal with.
Man, you are
but
digging that hole.
Yeah.
Keep going.
But listen,
It's on
but
video.
to be fair, I physically wasn't here for a
It's on
year.
video.
You know what I mean? I physically was not here for a year, so that's
Right.
what I mean. So she was here still training when she could, obviously. And anyway, long story short, she got promoted before I did.
You sound very jealous.
And
I can sense.
not
I
at all.
can sense
Not
the.
at all. No, never.
He's not.
I'm super stoked that she's
No, I was there for that.
that
I was
she's
there for you
continued
when you
on.
got your brown belt.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
when they were doing the ceremony. Yeah.
So yeah, and I just have a little joke amongst ourselves. She can be one belt ahead of me, but not two.
That's on you. That's not up to her. That's on you.
She could be one, but then I have to, like, if I'm focusing too much on MMA or whatnot, then I have to go back into jiu-jitsu because
He's
I
like
can't
going to
I can't allow her to have two
twice
belts
a
ahead
day.
of me.
You just got
Bruno
lapped. You just
Bruno
got
was
lapped.
calling him out in the belt promotion. Like, oh yeah, all of a sudden Jason just started showing up in the
Oh no, I know. He started showing up at Excel.
Yeah,
He just started
yeah,
showing up,
Excel
and somebody
and
called him out.
combat.
Who was it that called you out?
Well, could have been George, maybe.
No, it was George. So he's like, man, you're coming in here a lot more. I was like, is everything okay? And he leans over to whisper something to him, like nobody else heard.
Stephanie has her brown belt.
I can't let. We got a belt promotion. Stephanie might get her black belt. She can't be 2 belts ahead of me.
No, there's no
Yeah.
way.
But if
Not
you
anytime soon.
if you knew our jiu-jitsu history and our story when it came to gyms and professors and stuff like that,
I get you
it's-
guys. I
I
remember
mean,
we
you've
talked
been to the
about
last
it.
one. You experienced the last one, and that's pretty much our entire jiu-jitsu career.
Well, you know
it's
what's
crazy.
funny is I brought this up the other day too. Is that me, Shawn, you guys, and like a handful of other people, we were a solid team for like 4 years.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah, that
those
was
times.
a solid team that we had for 4 years. And then when shit hits the fan for one reason or another, it was kind of like it was really a Game of Thrones kind of moment because we were getting like pulled in like 10 different ways. Everyone had their own like little stories just because the gym was so big.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, like everybody just split up.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like I'm at Excel, Shawn's over at Temple, you guys are at Combat Club. But the main core group of people, like we all still talk, we still train once in a while, stuff like that. All those outliers and everybody else, some good, some bad for whatever reason, like gone.
And
It's
and that's that
crazy.
brotherhood that Stephanie was talking about earlier, and that's where Amazonian Women's Jiu-Jitsu, the inception of it came into play because that's what she was trying to create, that brotherhood amongst women.
Yeah.
So just like you're saying,
Sisterhood. Sister.
Excuse me,
Okay.
sisterhood.
Don't try to
Sisterhood
mansplain
among-
this, bro.
Yeah, that's sisterhood amongst women because, like you say, we had a core group or whatever. It doesn't matter where we are, even in the country and the world. We can, like, I was in Abu Dhabi a few years ago
Yeah,
for
I
an
remember.
MMA fight, and we land, and Jay-Z Matter of fact, the guy that was at George's, Marcon, he greeted us in Abu Dhabi. You know, I think that's awesome. You know, so you can go anywhere in the world and you have somebody there. You know, that's the beautiful thing about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool that Jay-Z, he travels all over and he knows someone everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, he went to France, he's doing a seminar there, he goes to Spain. Like, it's pretty crazy. And now, like, the women's jiu-jitsu community is growing. We have, like, Facebook pages dedicated to, like, master women's divisions, and we have, like, just supporting women in jiu-jitsu. Like, now I know people all over the world that hopefully, you know, support what I'm trying to do.
Let me ask you this, though, because it's one of those things that always blows my mind, and I see it from two aspects. I see it from a regular martial arts school, like, student aspect, and then I see it from the professional aspect of fighters and stuff like that. And it was always, oh, you can't go anywhere else, you can't go train, you can't do anything. And that's always the way that, doesn't matter what martial art you're in, that's the way that you're taught, right? But then we get into the pros, like all the guys that we know, how many guys do we know that train everywhere and they'll go to a gym and they're there for 6 months or 2 months or something like that? It's like, wait a minute, you guys are preaching all this bullshit, but then you're out there and you leave. You disappear on us for like 2 or 3 months. You know, and that's like not everybody, but like a lot of the people, and I notice it's the people that always preach the most about loyalty are the ones that end up fucking people over the most. But my question is for you, because of the women's aspect of it and the group was so small, did you still have to run into that?
Oh yeah, big time.
Really?
Sometimes I feel like women are even more loyal to their small gym, and like even though they're the only female there at the gym, if their professor says something, oh no, you can't go to those open mats, or no, you can't do that, you're my student. They're sometimes even more so than the men.
More frequently than
I mean, I
think.
can see it happening
Still in 2019.
I mean, I can see it happening, but do you think, is it more of a like a control thing? Or
Definitely.
You think it's more control? Well, did you see what happened with what's his name, Hinger, and one of the white belt students that happened a couple of weeks ago? We talked about it on the podcast too. He went to do a seminar down in Mexico.
Oh, in Mexico. I did hear about this,
Did you see this?
No, what happened?
Yeah,
He went to do a seminar in Mexico, and one of the girls invited him to come train at another school, at her school, and do a class. He's like, well, it's got to be cool with like your professor or whatever.
Respectful.
Right, and the professor was a brown belt, and he said, okay, well, I don't have like the gi. I think it was an Alliance school, or no, it was a Gracie Baja school. He's like, I don't have that gi. She said, no. He said, it's fine. He's got the text message saying, like, no, it's fine. Like, you can come in. Don't worry about it.
Just wear a white gi with no patches or something.
Yeah, just come and train or whatever. So as soon as he went in there, next thing you know, like, the head professor, the black belt, saw the photos, flipped out on her, started calling her all kinds of names, all kinds of shit, and then, like, calling her a whore, this, that, and the other. Come to find out, like, of course, they dated for a little while. It's like, okay, well, dude, like, you don't own somebody, like, but you still can't talk to someone like that, regardless, male or female.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's like, that's why, like,
that's a cultural
2019
thing,
doesn't
man.
matter. People still have that mindset.
Oh, they do. They do for sure. Like, I think we're getting away from that, and like as the women in the sport grow and they see like what the potential is, and I'm gonna learn something from these other women. I train with Bruna. She's my professor. She promoted me to brown belt, and I'm loyal to her. But she tells me, Stephanie, go train with Luana and Anna Carolina. They have a lot to show you, and you're going to be training with another brown belt female. There's 3 or 4 brown belts there. There's a few purple belts there. You know, there's higher level females that I can train with. So if I'm getting ready for a competition,
and they're your size or bigger.
Exactly. And like the way that they teach is a little different. They teach concepts, and I'm learning something every time I go there.
Right.
I learn something every time I train with Bruna as well, but it's sometimes it's just me and her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
which isn't bad.
No.
Because I'll take private classes with Bruna for sure
gosh,
if I had the opportunity.
She kills me.
Yeah,
kills me. She was like, oh my gosh, Bruna, I don't even know. Sometimes she'll show me something. I'm like, what did you just do?
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're doing. She trains. I mean, when she trains, it's similar to rolling with Gilbert.
Yeah.
but her size.
Yeah.
You know,
And
she's
yeah,
atom weight.
She's got the same mentality and stuff like that. If anything,
Yes.
Yeah,
sometimes I think she's
a little more
way
aggressive,
more intense
yeah.
than Gilbert.
Oh yeah, for
Like,
sure.
Gilbert
for sure.
can turn
I love
it on and
though.
off like instantly, but when Bruno's in the zone, like, nope.
That's it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it because that's how I like to be. Also, like
Gilbert
don't-
actually smiles, right?
I don't
Yeah.
flow
I
roll.
make fun of her so much.
I don't flow roll. I don't do any of this stuff. Like if I'm there to train, I'm there to train.
Yeah.
We're going 100%. You know what I mean? So that's like why another reason why I think we get along so well, and like I enjoy learning from her.
Yeah.
But you know, at the same time, she doesn't have an issue with me
Training other places.
Yeah, I have to communicate with her, of course, but you know,
me.
she supports me where I'm training.
So what you're saying is that women tend to argue more when like you're trying to train at their school or trying to make them switch more, like you guys fight more.
Argue? No.
I don't know, you said like the women are more defensive on it.
No, they're just sometimes they're more loyal than men when it comes to open mats.
Right.
You know, so if their professor says something, then that's written in stone. Whereas sometimes men are like, oh, but let's all go and do this open mat and
that's a
kind of
different
build a
ego
team.
too. That's a different ego. I've never ever seen a woman in the middle class be like, "Oh, professor, well, what about this, this, and that? And if you do that."
Yeah,
But
no.
how many guys have you seen try to correct like professor
Yeah.
in the middle of the thing?
Shut your ass up.
Yeah, I can't stand that.
But yeah, when I do open mats, when I organize open mats, sometimes I still get a little resistance. As far as like women saying, no, I can't go to any other gym, and I'm like, I don't. It's not my gym either.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to any open gym that's willing to host an open mat just for women
Yeah.
and open to having any woman come and let's just train together.
Yeah.
You know, let's go over a technique, or if you have questions, you know, about something you've been stuck in, let's go over that together and let's try it out, because trying it out on 200-pound blue belt guy and trying it out on me who's 130 pounds is totally different.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's going to work a little differently.
Like I think we gotten stuck like that before at one point or another. It's like you and I got partnered up like when we had to do the technique part of class. I'm like,
I'm not going to
no
jump
offense,
guard.
but I'm not getting anything out of this one. Like, it's like, and I think she feels the same way. It's like,
So you want us to do a blast double and pick the
Yeah,
person
right.
up?
so we're doing suplexes today. Okay, got it. So you built this from scratch, and you've had a couple of events on and off. You definitely had to take a little bit of a break for here and there and just life in general.
Yeah.
So besides this event, what do you have planned as far as what you want to do with the whole Amazonian thing, with like tournament, everything all put
Yeah.
together?
Well, I want to continue to have open mats every other month. I've been trying to, the last one, let me think, was in March. Oh, so we're due for another one. No, April.
This year?
April of this year. It was that Brazilian top team up in Juno Beach.
Oh, right.
It was a good one. We had like about 20, 25 girls come. We went over a few things, and then you know, we have competitions coming up. So another thing about open mats, when you have big competitions like Worlds coming up, is people don't want to cross train, and that's when sometimes a professor will say, you know, I'm open to you going to open mats for other women and get training in, but right before Worlds, I don't want you to cross training anywhere.
And that's completely understandable.
That's
Yeah, for
understandable.
sure.
That's for
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So sometimes I kind of like dial it back. We just had Worlds, you know, and now I'm planning the tournament. Maybe sometime like late this month and early July, we'll have an open mat, and we can keep, you know, continuing to spread the word about the tournament. I just want
Yeah.
people to come out, watch, support, you know, have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Don't
the
mind
goal.
the noise, by the way. Sorry.
Is that a
I'm
plane?
used to
We're
it.
at an airport. Yeah.
I'm used to it. Don't worry.
Yeah, you are for sure, but like other people too, like people listening, because it sounds weird sometimes. So you
Yeah.
want to do the more of the open mats?
Yeah, and hopefully towards the end of the year, since it's no-gi season, quote unquote, have a no-gi tournament.
Yeah. What would make you consider this first tournament a success? Like, what would have to happen for you to consider it a success?
Well, full registration,
Right.
which would be, I need 2 more advanced teams to register. And I've spoken to a few people, so hopefully that's going to happen. So that's number one on my list, is to have, the 4 team brackets. And just for the people to have fun. I just want these women to come out and be able to know that they're being highlighted and that I support them, that there's a lot of support out there for them.
Yeah.
So just to kind of continue to build the sisterhood, as long as everyone comes out there and we have a good time, nobody gets hurt. Of course, we don't even want to get hurt in a tournament, even though it can happen. There's always that risk. But, just to have, a good positive impact.
Yeah. Do you feel that maybe there's not like a role model yet, like a designated role model for women's jiu-jitsu?
I think there's plenty of them.
I mean, I know,
honestly.
we know that there's so many amazing just female jiu-jitsu athletes, but there's not a staple. There's not the one person that everybody thinks, okay, for women's jiu-jitsu, that's the face that I'm putting on there. Because if you say women's MMA, people are going to automatically think Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Right? Even though she's long gone from the sport. There's that one staple. I feel like even though there's so many active and even retired women's jiu-jitsu athletes, that there's still that one icon that hasn't popped up where it's kind of known and
it's
seen.
hard to say. I think regionally there are. There's Lika Vieira and she's in California. Leticia Ribeiro over in California.
And you got
Henette
Jazari
Stack.
down here.
There's Jazari here. But she's from the second generation, I think.
Yeah.
Henette Stack, Leticia Ribeiro, Michelle Niclini, Luana Alzugir. They all competed in these, beginning when they first started having women's divisions at the Worlds, and it was purple to black belt, or Luana told me it was white to black belt. Women. All together.
They're just throw them in there.
You know what I mean? Everyone grouped together because there wasn't enough or whatever the situation is. So I think there's a lot out there, but you don't know them when you first come into jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Those role models for me. The ones that I just named, those inspirations for me, I learned about them when I was a blue belt, when I was a purple belt. It didn't draw me to start jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? I think that's the only thing that we're missing that is yet to come. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You're still missing that one figurehead. Because as soon as you start jiu-jitsu as a guy, you get 1,000,001 names thrown at you. You have a Henzo, you have Marcelo, you have freaking Cyborg, you have all these other people. But when it comes to women, people are only going to know a handful of names.
Yeah. And even the guys that are, higher ranked and stuff and been in the sport for a while, they don't know a lot of the women.
Oh, for sure. There's a lot of guys that don't know who Fionn Davies is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's
crazy.
It's man, she would smoke half your squad and you still don't know who it is.
Yeah.
You might want to go look it up.
Who's this girl? She has a black belt. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting there, We haven't had as much time.
Who would you nominate to be that person?
That's really hard.
Ooh, on the spot.
There's so many. Man. I would say my top 2. I don't think I could pick one. Actually, 3. Can I pick 3?
You get 3. You can pick 3 so you don't get in trouble with people.
I would say on the West Coast, Leticia Ribeiro.
Oh, we're going to go Biggie Tupac on this one?
Yes, I am. Midwest, Henette Stack. And East Coast, Luana Alzugir.
I'm not really happy with the answer you gave me here.
No?
I think you're
what are you
just.
looking for?
I think you're. I'm not looking for anything. I just feel like you're.
An agenda much?
Yeah.
An agenda much?
No, not at all.
There's no
I just feel like you're
agenda.
giving me a PC answer. I want the legitimate Stephanie answer.
For me,
who is your hero?
I've never met Henette, but she is inspiration.
Right.
She has been training for so long and competing at the highest level for so long, and she stopped competing and she went back to Worlds this year and competed again. And I just think her stepping up like that and inspiring her students to continue to compete no matter what, no excuses, is inspirational. And I've always wanted to meet her. She's always been kind of an inspiration for me.
So if you were going to say your heroes for jiu-jitsu.
These would be my heroes. Oh, Michelle Niccolini, of course.
Huh?
Plural or singular?
Singular. Your
Oh,
hero.
oh no, I
Like
can't
if this
pick
was
one.
if this
I
was
can't
like
do it.
14, 15-year-old Stephanie, and you have your
Oh,
poster up on the
man.
wall, like who would that be?
When I first started jiu-jitsu, my hero at that time was Michelle Nicolini.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she came to our gym and I had just gotten my blue belt.
Yeah.
And she trained. She had a world's camp
Yeah.
at our gym. And she was, oh my gosh,
And
she was so
the first
badass.
guest at
She
the
was just
very first
wiping the
Amazonian
mats
Jiu-Jitsu
clean
open
with
mat.
everyone on the team.
Yeah.
Except Bushesha.
Yeah.
Was the only, and sometimes she would, Kabaka maybe
Yeah.
was the only one that, she wouldn't just wreck. So she was really, and she inspired me, her and Sophia Amaran, she inspired me to start
Yeah.
Amazonian. They supported me. Michelle was like, all right, let's do a seminar and let's make it all women.
Are you gonna get
See
Sophia
who
to
you can
compete?
Yeah,
get.
Sophia came too that day.
Sophia came that day, and that's when they
Yeah.
met. That's when they started, like, they have a great friendship now, partially because that's when they met. And
Yeah.
they started, training together. Sophia's been to Brazil to train there. She got ready for Brazilian Nationals, I think, there
Yeah, that's
recently.
awesome.
Like, Sophia's always supported me and getting women together.
No,
and
she's super
everything.
awesome. We were
She's
supposed to do a
amazing.
photo shoot last year, I think. Was it
Mhm.
last year? Yeah. Last year, beginning of this year, and it just never panned out. I think, yeah, because I messaged you too about it, and I needed to find somebody,
Yeah.
and it just never panned out. The company didn't send me the products that we
Oh,
needed, and
okay.
it just didn't pan out.
Yeah, she has a really big school now with her husband in Coral Springs,
Yeah.
and they have a huge kids program. Like, I'm really happy for like the success that she's found in jiu-jitsu. Like it's awesome. So
Do you think that, I mean, it's obviously changing, but do you think it's still a long climb up the ladder for people to respect the women's side of jiu-jitsu as much as the men's?
yes, I used to think that it wasn't as long, that we were gaining more progress, but now like sometimes I'll see, they'll start doing the highlights for Worlds or whatever, and there's no women
Yeah.
in the video highlights.
Like
I'm
the biggest
guys,
part, like the biggest talk about it for this year was the fact that they had to stop the women's like competition because of the fight that was in the stands.
yeah, it's
That was like
crazy.
the worst
It's
part. It's like really,
ridiculous.
like you guys just ruined it for
Yeah.
everybody else.
Exactly. It's just, sometimes I think like, okay, yeah, we're getting there. We're making
Yeah.
progress, and it's come a long ways and everything, but there's still those setbacks where you're like, I'm watching this world's highlight and I'm not seeing a single women's match, and they had some badass matches.
Yeah, no,
You know
for
what
sure.
I mean? Like, there's tons of action. There's tons of submissions.
Yeah.
It's not only, the referee decisions are so, sometimes with the black belt level, they're so evenly matched that you don't get anywhere.
Yeah.
Because they just kind of X each other out.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's not like, and now that Gabby's not in there, it's not like, okay, it's going to be like an actual competitive match. It's not going to
Yeah.
be like, okay, well, this giant is going up against this average sized person.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't compete anymore?
Only in
she
MMA.
she was at Pan Am's.
She, last time I saw her compete in anything was kicking an old lady in the face.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
It's so
just doing
ridiculous.
shit.
In Japan?
She did. Well, no, she competed at Fight to Win.
This
she,
past
like,
weekend, I think it was.
No, 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And she like got a record win. Like, okay, yeah, of course you're gonna get like a record like speed choke. Like, look at the size
Mm-hmm.
of you, And there's like all the drama that goes behind her and everything that's it. But it's like, it's never been fair to me. Like, why am I gonna watch this? That's not fair. Like, clearly there's cheating going on.
Yeah.
Like, at least if you had Mackenzie against Nicolini, like, you knew that was going to be a competitive match.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Michelle against Tammy.
Yeah.
Like, you knew that was going to be a tough match.
Yeah.
But now it's like, well, who's going to want to see that? If anything, it's probably going to set things back even more. Like,
Yeah,
now
it's
that's
so
getting
one-sided.
popularity.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I think, like, also when she was competing more, the women, even though there's such a size difference, were figuring her out.
Yeah.
And even, like, when Anna Carolina went up against her, I think it was at Pan Am's, if I'm not mistaken. But she said, next time I'm going to do this. You know what I mean? She was figuring her out as they had the match going on, So if she was in there more often, these top black belts would pick her apart.
Yeah.
Once they figured out what the key, what I
Yeah.
mean, what that key is to the lock.
Yeah, and then there was like a lot of different things too that they were still kind of pushing in the rule restriction.
Yeah.
Mackenzie got the win. What was it? That was the
I think it was Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like where she got the win by points, and she was starting to pick away at it and like
Yes.
figure it out.
Yeah, I
Even
agree.
despite the size difference,
Mm-hmm.
she was starting to get at it. I think now what's Tyann, if she's gonna sit there go up against Gabby, for sure I'd put her up against Gabby.
Yeah,
Like
and even the absolute winner this year, Natalie. She won her division and absolute. She's actually coming. She's coming for a camp with Anna Carolina in end of August, September.
Yeah.
I'm sure she would have a good chance, you know, if she went
For
up
sure.
against her. She's really good, really badass. So, you know.
I always thought it was funny, like with Tammy, because you guys knew Tammy and Mike even more than I did, and we always talk about like how we train with them and like the whole difference with them. Like Tammy was always the like, I'm not trying to be the role model for women's jiu-jitsu. She's
Yeah,
like, "I
she
just
never
wanna
wanted
compete."
that role.
Do you think that's for like a lot of women? They don't want that. Because that's got to be
Yeah,
a lot of pressure for
It
you, right?
is. All eyes are on you, and she had different goals in mind. You know, she's in law school,
Yeah.
so that's
I mean,
being
and
in
that's even worse because
jujitsu.
that makes you even more of a type of role model.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
in law school. She's world champion. She's this. She's that. You know, but she never wanted that.
How messed up is it that she just won worlds and she did like no training for it whatsoever?
She's just a phenom.
How bad is that? Like she literally said, like, I didn't get to train that much. It's
Listen,
like,
she's been training her entire life. Her body knows exactly what to do.
yeah, but it's different when you're studying for law school.
Yeah.
She's studying for the
I
bar
have my
now.
own theory when
Yeah.
it comes to kids in training, man. You know, like kids, they pick up techniques so fast, super quick,
Yeah.
much more advanced than adults do. I believe it's because their brain, while it's developing,
Yeah, of
just
course.
absorbs everything and it becomes a part
Listen,
of who they are.
One of the girls, little girl, you got to see this girl. I think we might have trained with them before at Jocko at some point.
Mm-hmm.
This little black girl is like this tall, and I talked so much trash to her. When I went to watch her the other day at BJJ Tour, if you were just to look, it's like, and let's say I'm really far away and I'm looking at an adult moving. The way, like, you see her, like, just kind of warming up and just jumping
Yeah.
around, it's like, you don't see that.
Yeah.
It's like you have an adult capability of controlling your muscles.
Yeah.
Compared to
Yeah.
if you see a kid, like, warming
Yeah, they're
up,
just
their
like hopping
limp arms,
around. Yeah.
it's like I just saw a 20-something-year-old woman like getting ready to compete.
Yeah.
She's only just 3 feet tall though. It was insane.
It's crazy.
insane, and it happens a lot. Listen, I watched a kid just full on, just Seonagi, just this one kid off the bat, shake hand, pound, just went up,
Boom.
boom. Like, man,
Yeah.
at your age, I could barely still walk straight. Like, and you're sitting
know,
there
it's
doing this stuff.
crazy.
It's crazy. It's nuts.
Yeah, we've been training. Man, I met Tammy. I think she was 12 years old, and I trained with her. I was a white belt.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just crazy. Just the way she moved then. She knew. She knew exactly what she was doing. Mikey was probably like 8 years old. They trained in the adults class at that age.
Yeah.
You know, so they've been doing this their whole lives. You know, they're just phenoms. She's just made for it, you know?
How many championships do you think Mikey could win?
Can?
Yeah.
However
he's only,
many,
what, 22?
however many Mikey
He's
wants.
22. I think he just turned 22.
Yeah.
And he's won 3.
I'm telling however many Mikey wants is however many Mikey's gonna win.
Because he's only 22,
Yeah.
and he's already got 3
To a certain weight class, though.
to a certain weight class.
I would give him that. To a
I
certain
mean,
weight class.
Mikey's never going to hit
Everyone's
200.
human.
He's
Everyone's
going to
human.
sit there. He's going to hover around to 145.
Yeah.
He's probably going to get to 165 probably at his heaviest.
Probably, yeah.
Like, I think he'll always just cut down to 145, 155.
Yeah, because he's a... How tall is he?
He's 5'8".
5'8"?
5'7",
Okay, yeah.
5'8". Yeah.
So 165 would probably be his max. But yeah, he's just going to keep on winning. As long as he keeps on competing, I believe he's going to keep on winning.
That's nutty.
You know?
That's like
Yeah.
just blows my mind.
Yeah,
You
he's
guys
so
want to get
young.
into some like crazy news?
Yeah.
You
What's
might
up?
like some of the stuff I got written down actually. So every show I try to like pull up like some of the craziest news or whatever that like comes to mind or stuff that's more relevant, whether it's MMA or jiu-jitsu, whatever. Speaking of jiu-jitsu, Rafael Lovato Jr. 9-0 MMA. You know what his next fight
Pressure
is?
pass. What's up?
He's coming up for a
Gegard
belt.
Oh
Mousasi.
yeah.
Gegard
Oh yeah,
Mousasi
because
for the belt.
that got delayed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did.
Right?
So Gegard Mousasi against Rafael Lovato
Yeah.
Jr. for the belt.
I definitely want to see that.
Who you got? I'll take it. Let's take bets. Since Sean's not here, I'm taking bets with you guys.
Rafael,
So
second
the-
round submission.
I'll do Steph, all right, and then Jason, and then me. So you're going with Gegard?
No.
You're going with Rafael Lovato?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
We've been a fan of him for a long time.
He's
Long
awesome.
time. Long
He is
time.
He's
I
awesome.
based my pressure passing off of his.
Yeah.
He released the DVD, but before that, he used to put out little clips and stuff
Yeah.
on social media and all that stuff with just little techniques on how to pressure pass. And as a white belt, I just used to study them all the
Yeah.
time, man. And yeah, man.
He's such a
Rafael
beast.
Lovato Jr. all the
Yeah.
way.
You got Lovato?
Yeah, I got Lovato too. I think,
Right.
yeah, I saw a post, I think today on
Now, here's the
Instagram or
thing.
something. He's like, I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm ready for
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, he
You
did.
know?
He's definitely in shape. But here's what I'm throwing at you. All right. Gegard is 46-6-2.
Gegard is no slouch whatsoever.
Listen, just follow me on this, right? Gegard is 46-6-2. He's only 3-0 in Bellator, right? He just jumped straight up and got the belt. Lovato's 9-0, but he's 5-0 in Bellator.
Okay.
Here's the thing, all right? If you look at Lovato, he's only got 2 KOs, 5 submissions. Pretty standard for the jiu-jitsu guy, right?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
someone that's 9-0, that's not bad. Gegard is 26 KOs.
Has more
12
KOs than
submissions,
this guy has fights.
but he's got 12 submissions. He submitted Mark Hunt back in the day, all right?
Okay.
He submitted Mark Munoz and Melvin Manhoef. I'm not saying he's really black belt level, but his
He
grappling.
probably is though. He might be.
I wouldn't say he's got black belt capabilities. I don't think he's technically a black belt yet. Like I think
Okay.
if you put him up legitimately, like with Lovato, just in gi or
Yeah,
something like
at
that,
the
he
Worlds
might
Yeah,
and
of
Black
course.
Belt.
he might
Yeah.
hold his
Yeah.
own for a little bit, but it won't last that long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he still has some submissions and stuff on there.
Yeah.
for sure.
But with 26 KOs, and Lovato hasn't really gone up with anyone that kind of like power just yet.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be. I'm
I-
hoping
I
for a
Listen,
good
I'm
fight.
rooting for Lovato
Yeah.
as a jiu-jitsu guy too, but Gegard is a
We're
bad
straight- we're
motherfucker.
jiu-
How old?
people.
How old is Lovato now? How old is he?
Oh, it's like 30s, late 30s.
Yeah.
he's-
And Musasi, same.
Yeah.
Late
yeah, he's like
30s.
38.
Yeah.
So my point of the question is, I believe he's intelligent enough to prepare, and I don't think he's gonna allow ego and all that to
No,
take
Lovato-
unnecessary
yeah.
risks.
Yeah, Lovato
So-
is going to take stupid risks.
So I believe I believe that he'll be cool, calm, and collective. He'll keep his composure and he'll get it done.
Yes,
He'll get it
but
done.
you as a professional fighter, and,
Uh-huh.
And
As a
think it
professional,
happened.
as a
and
professional,
you and I both know
anything can
everyone's
happen.
got a game plan.
Yeah, until you get punched in the face.
Yeah,
Of course.
So that's what I'm saying. Like he
Yeah.
hasn't been rocked yet. He hasn't took like a solid. He's taken a couple of like mean shots, but I don't think he's taken anybody's shot. Like
which means he doesn't have
Musasi
those
can
miles.
get.
He doesn't
he
have
doesn't
those
have those
miles.
miles. He doesn't have that weak
So
chin
it,
just
it
yet.
can work in his favor to where he can absorb a lot more punishment. Who knows? We'll find out. When it actually goes
Right.
down. But I'm still going with Lovato.
So who you going with?
He's obviously going for Gegard.
I want to go. I want to root for Lovato so bad,
Yeah.
but I've made the mistake before
Yeah.
of letting my passion to like support people
Yeah.
cloud my judgment on what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm going full
Yeah.
fanboy on this one.
I know,
Lovato.
and,
fanboy.
I do that a lot too. I've like
I do
lost
that
so
all the
many
time. I
bets
don't
because
care.
I'm like, no,
Yeah.
he's gonna win. Like, I know he's not, but I'm still gonna go for him. I want to say that it goes to decision against Gegard. I
5
think
rounds?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that Gegard is gonna sit there and
Be
have
smart.
some bad spots. If it doesn't go to decision, I would say probably 4th round he's gonna get submitted.
What was the injury that put him out? That they had to delay?
For Gegard?
Yeah.
I don't
He was
remember.
injured. That's,
Yeah, because this
that's
is
why
the
they had to
second time the fight
delay the
is supposed to
fight.
take place.
I'm wondering.
Yeah, I probably would get injured a lot too if I had to get a fucking fight up. Oh, my back. My back. I'm out. I need
Guys-
another 6 months.
I need at least 6 weeks.
Because Lovato's got hands too, man. He's not a joke. He's not.
Nah, I'm telling
he's
you,
not
man.
that level striker, but I don't know. Just to be that guy, I'm gonna go with Gegard.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. If the submission doesn't happen by the 4th round, it's Gegard.
He's going to
for
take the decision.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I see it.
So we got that one.
So you're anticipating a straight up striker versus grappler, and where the grappler can't take the striker down, and then the striker starts
I'm
picking him apart.
thinking that Gegard has good enough takedown defense and good
Oh,
enough
yeah, for
defense.
sure.
Yeah, of
Like,
course.
I think that Lovato is still
Experience,
super freaking
yeah.
quick, where he's going to be able to stay calm under pressure. And it's like the people that he trains with is no joke. But I think Gegard has, with that many fights on your belt, you're going to be pretty calm under any like situation. Like, when's the last time you remember Gegard really being like out of pocket, where it looks like he was really scrambling? Maybe one of the last couple of UFC fights, but nothing really where he looks like he's out of his element,
Yeah.
you know?
And he always has that stone face anyway, so he's,
I think he's just ugly.
You
That's
never
all.
see him. You never see him in a bad spot.
All right. We got, you saw what happened with Paulo Costa?
No.
No.
Paulo Costa was suspended, retroactively suspended for 6 months because he took an IV, and they said he was taking IV, but he was getting medication that was approved. It was all USADA approved because of like stomach issues that he had. One of his teammates was actually blackmailing him. It was one of his trainers that had photos of him with the IV, which is what everything caused up, and he started leaking the photos saying like, hey, if you don't pay me this much, I'm like releasing these photos.
Wow.
So that was like a whole big issue. Like, how fucked up is that? Especially it was just like IV, and it's an actual issue. It's
And
not
it's
like
a
the man was cheating.
medication that he's prescribed.
But the problem is everybody was already accusing him. Like, everybody's, I mean, come on. Paulo Costa is a buff dude. Like, be like, come on.
What
do
is
you
it?
take?
knows,
But
man?
like, no, he's solid. So yeah, his trainer blackmailed him to give me this amount of money or I'll release the tapes. He's like,
And it was his actual trainer.
it was one of his trainers. Yeah, they cut him off the team, and now he's like, that trainer's trying to reach out to other teams to
Well,
let
look
him
at what
like,
happened
nobody's
with
gonna
T.J.
take him.
Dillashaw, right? Everyone has always accused him from alpha male.
Yeah.
You know, well, you know, they weren't public about it, but within the group themselves, they knew.
Yeah,
You know
they
what I mean?
knew.
And then after he split and went to Bang Muay Thai, it started coming out. Yeah, this guy uses.
Well,
this
because
guy
he wasn't
uses.
part of the team
yeah,
anymore.
exactly.
Throw
This
him
guy
under the bus.
uses. And then like everyone else, he's denying it. No, and then boom, you get.
But look at Chad Mendez. Like, Chad Mendez like got popped too, and he's like, oh, it's
Yeah.
for my skin condition. Like, bro,
It's like,
you don't get a 6-pack of abs from the cream from your
Yeah.
skin condition. I wish.
Let
that's
me
the
get
case.
that cream,
Give me-
please.
I got
need it now.
vitiligo. I got that vitiligo. Give me that screen cream. I'm good. So yeah, no, that's one of those, and I think it's gonna happen more and more, just because of like the popularity and everybody's just trying to get a payout. Like, that kind of stuff is gonna happen more and more.
Yeah.
All right.
Keep your circle close.
To quote Nate Diaz, they're all on steroids, right?
Dylan Dennis, did you watch the Dylan Dennis fight?
I heard he won.
He won, but
Submission.
he fought with a knee injury. I guess he had an LCL tear, so he fought and won. So Kavanaugh came out and said like,
The nurse just came out of her. She's like, that's not that bad.
LCL? Don't we all have LCL tears?
for sure,
Right?
for sure.
Just put some tape
Mine's
on that
hurting.
thing.
Listen, what do you think about the whole Dylan Dennis thing? Like, how he's calling out people. He called out John Jones. Like, he's trying to.
He's just fishing for a fight. He's trying to get paid. You know, he's trying
Listen,
to
he
get
got
paid. It's a
kicked
little
out of
annoying though.
Marcelo's for like his attitude and
Yeah.
like all that stuff. So it's kind of like, it was the worst.
Get kicked out by the GOAT? Nah.
Man.
What is it? History shows that America loves the bad guy.
Listen,
So if you're the bad guy, you get a crap load more money and stuff like that because you
but
draw
he's
the
getting
crowd.
nothing.
Yeah.
He's
Nothing.
getting money
Maybe
from
he's
Connor.
practicing.
He's
Maybe
getting
That's
money
it.
from Connor.
Yeah.
Listen, I will always be the first one to be like, who's the shit talker? I love that guy. Give me that guy. When Chael was going all out
Yeah.
against like Anderson and Vanderlei, I loved every second of it.
And
That's
look at now with Paulie Malignaggi and
he's an idiot though.
and-
Paulie
and
is such an
Lobo,
idiot. Are you gonna
right?
go to that fight?
I'm not gonna go to
You wanna
it.
go? I'm trying to go.
Where's it at?
In Tampa.
Is it?
I'm trying
When
to
is it?
photograph it this weekend.
This weekend?
Yes, man.
Oh, shit.
Why are you looking at me?
I know. Yeah. Well, he's got to ask for permission. Let's
No,
go. Let's go. Let's
negative.
We're both brown belts, for the record.
No, I'm not going though. But
What about Glory? Glory's coming to Orlando. I'm there. I'm
He's
taking.
not gonna be here.
yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
I'll
or
be here this
Kasai.
weekend. Yeah.
I know.
Well, like one
I
after the other. I'm going.
So upset.
Road trip. Enjoy. I'm already going up there. So.
No, she's not going. I don't know what you talking about right now.
It's like if I'm not going.
And,
She's
and
not
that's
going.
not that's
not
not the way
I'll
that's
get her.
not the
I'll
way I
get
would
her.
have worded it if I didn't know kids
I'll-
were listening. But
I'll
but yeah.
get her cage side or ring side at Glory, so you can watch on TV. He's like, oh, there's Stephanie.
That's cool, but that's not gonna happen.
I got the kids. I got the
You
kids.
can bring them like, oh, come on,
No.
because they haven't seen some of the most like amazing
when
gym
is the
fight-
event? What's the date?
for Glory.
Yeah.
4th and 5th of July,
Yeah, see, I won't be here. I'll be
No,
in.
Kasai's the 4th,
and
right?
Glory's
And
the
then
5th.
Glory's the 5th.
Yeah, I'll be in.
It's gonna be a
a
good
crazy
weekend. West Point.
weekend.
I'll be at West Point.
We're gonna go celebrate your duty for America with some good old kickboxing and grappling.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
and you know,
I'll be
yeah.
watching
Trust
on my
me,
TV.
I enjoy my freedom as much as I can.
You
and
gotta
I do
work
it on
for
the
it.
mats. Yeah, I
Yeah.
do it on the mats, man. Seriously.
No, but that one's coming. I'm trying to get to the bare knuckle because the whole thing with Paulie Malignaggi and what's his face like Lobov.
Artem Lobov.
Like Paulie is just he got clowned and he got
Mm.
played so good and he just didn't realize how bad he was slipping. But Connor did.
Well, yeah,
Rock 'em.
I mean, I brought that up because we were talking about the bad guy persona, and yeah, who like Paulie Malignaggi, he was a retired boxer. He's been out of the spotlight for a very long time
Yeah.
now, but now everybody remembers him. Now more fan
But
base.
see,
know
I don't
him.
think that many people remember the quality of work. Only like diehard boxers or people like
I
us
remember.
where we sit there, we've been watching it, like
Yeah.
we remember it. But you get like the fans
Yeah, I mean,
that
he's definitely gonna break his hands this fight. I'll tell you that.
for sure.
Definitely gonna break his
with
hands.
smaller gloves. Well, you see that it's
With
not bare
no
knuckles. No. They changed the rules. They're gonna give them gloves,
Really?
but they're like basically like MMA gloves. They're gonna be super thin. Yeah, they had to
okay.
change the rules for this one.
Mm.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Trust me, I've been looking for this fight for a while. Ever since he slapped Artem, and then you see AJ holding him back.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Oh, did you know that AJ's
what,
doing?
What, AJ holding back with a pinky?
Yeah, you didn't watch the video?
Nah, I remember when he slapped him. I remember AJ in the back taking a picture.
AJ's in the back, like just Snapchatting it while he's like, "Stop, Paulie, stop!" Like, come on, man, don't
are you
act like you
doing?
don't want them to actually slap
I
the shit out of
got
each
a
other.
funny story about AJ, man. I love the guy. One day we were quote unquote sparring
Yeah.
back at Black Zillions and stuff, and I'm sparring. He's just warming up. You know,
Yeah.
that's how it was, right?
Yeah.
The guy, he's huge now. He was the beast back then, and yeah. So he front kicked me a little teep, and I swear I probably looked like. When you skip a rock on the lake, you know, ting, 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 ting. Man, I skipped back like at least 5 times, man. There was like a 20-foot gap between us in an instant, bro. In an instant. And I'm just, as I'm schooling back, I'm like bouncing on the mat, just looking at him like, is this really happening? Like, this is what's going on in my mind as I'm bouncing back. I'm like,
How
is
far
this
am I gonna have to
right?
walk
Yeah.
back to get
I'm
in
like, "God damn,
range?
you getting further and further away, buddy." But yeah, man, that was one of my fonder memories of Anthony Johnson.
He's got so many just crazy events at the gym. I always knew, like at the Jocko gym, I come in and when I would go and like take photos or like hang out with Ryan, I'm always in the back left corner because that's where AJ used to always somehow end up. He'd always be there because that's where Henry hung out the most too. So he'd always be back there.
Yeah.
And I just remember, I forget who he was getting ready for. I think he was getting ready for the last World Series fight that he had.
Oh, when he
It was
got
like
poked
David
an eye?
Branch or something.
No,
Okay.
no, not David Branch.
Who do you have was the last one?
The heavyweights, right?
Yeah.
It
Well,
was
anyway,
the guy that poked him in the eye, and then
he came back and just knocked him
and
the
then
fuck
yeah,
out
he just
super
knocked
quick.
him
Yeah.
out. Yeah, we were
So-
there for that fight.
Yeah, we were all there. No, we were all sitting together.
Oh.
No,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
that's right, that's right.
So they were getting ready for that fight, and nobody wanted even a piece. Like normally they would like go and they'll spar a little bit. AJ was just such on a tear that he just started yelling. He's like, "Henry, get me someone that's not a fucking track star." It's like they were fucking running. I watched them run away
Run
from
away.
him.
Yeah.
Like
Nah, I'm
he's
Well,
like,
good.
he's-
I'm
everyone's a
good.
fucking track star today. I want to fucking fight.
Yeah.
Fuck Henry. I'm like,
that guy,
oh shit,
that
dude.
guy has, there's power, and then there's just like elite level power, and not too many people have that. And Anthony Johnson obviously
And
has
then what's
that.
worse is that Tyrone hit harder than him.
Yeah.
And they
That's
literally
crazy.
had the measurements for it. That Tyrone Spong hit harder than him.
Yeah.
And Tiago was mad. Do you remember when they had the cube up?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Remember,
remember
they
that.
set
Yeah, Tiago was pissed.
Yeah,
I
so for
remember that.
people that don't know, they set up a power cube. It was called the power cube, and they set it up on the wall, which is the worst place you could set it up, because you were punching basically into the wall. And it, like Joe Rogan talked about it for a long time on the podcast. But basically, they set it up to measure everybody's punches, and they had AJ, and it was something crazy. And then Tiago came and just went like, bam, as hard as he could.
Can you
It was
imagine
like,
if you missed that shit? Fucking
I remember
fist
I
straight
punched
into the
it,
wall.
just like casually walking my eyes, like Kakusha, like, oh shit, my wrist. Like I was not set up properly to
out.
do that. But then like I remember Thiago did it, and like he was like, oh, it was something like 40,000, 50,000, and then fucking Tyrone came in. He's like, just ice cold, not warmed up or nothing. Wham!
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like in 100-something thousand. Thiago was so pissed, and he kept on sitting there trying to punch it. It's just like, I can hit harder. I can hit harder.
Yeah, yeah.
No, man. Ain't happening. But, yeah, Tyrone fucking punches harder than AJ.
Technique, man.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. Did you watch Adam Bork's fight?
Man, tell you the truth, I don't watch a lot of TV like that, man. Like,
You don't watch the fights anymore?
every once in a while, but I might catch him on YouTube where
Oh,
I can
man.
rewind and stuff
Well,
like
you know
that. but
Adam,
who?
right? Adam Borks from Hard Knocks. He trains with Henry. He trained a little bit of Jocko here and there.
If they weren't there back in Black
Back.
Zealand days, then I don't know them.
Well, Adam.
Oh, wait. This is the Bellator guy, right?
He's the Bellator
Undefeated
guy.
Bellator.
Did he hit the
Okay.
flying knee?
So he had
Yeah.
the flying knee. So
I know,
Adam,
I know of him mostly because I watch, I see Shawn's posts, and
Yeah,
Shawn trains with
he's
him a
on with
lot.
it all the time. So it's funny because Adam's a friend of mine. I've done stuff with him before. He actually is sponsored by Giraffe Choke. He's like sponsored the
Okay.
podcast too. So we were talking about it, me and my buddy from Giraffe Choke. I'm like, oh, Adam's fighting tonight. I'm like, first round for sure. Like it has to be. Like, sure enough, within like 30 minutes later, it's like, oh, flying knee KO, and he
Yeah.
does it to everybody, and it pisses everybody off. So you haven't been there in a while to see the sparring sessions.
No,
Like,
I don't go to Hard Knocks.
Man,
No.
you got to go in there. You got to go in there.
Nah, I'm
once.
good.
You got to go in there. Why? Because they're gonna get you in there.
No.
He trains with Jay-Z.
Yeah.
But you can still go in there. They're not.
Yeah,
gonna,
no, that's
You and Henry were
politics,
cool.
man. Politics.
yeah,
politics.
there are politics everywhere you go.
I'm good, though.
But-
I'm good. I'm happy where I'm at.
I'm not saying go train and leave Jay-Z. I'm saying go check it out. Say what's up to people.
Yeah, I mean, I say what's up to him regardless. You
Alright.
know what I mean? But it's all good.
But anyway, Adam Borks with the sick KO flying knee knockout
Yeah, that
on
was
the second
beautiful.
round.
That was beautiful.
But he
the way
does
he
it
set
all
it
the
up
time.
too.
I
The way he
have
set
so
it
many.
up.
Yeah, well, I have so many photos of Adam. That's like his thing. So he always does it to people randomly, and they get so pissed. And then they're sparring. They're like, "What the fuck, man?" Like, because he nails it a lot
You
of the
know
times.
that it's coming. There's
But
nothing you can do to
his
stop
timing
it.
is so good because he'll do it from like 20 feet away, and he'll still get pretty close to it if
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't hit it. I've seen him like snag MJ with it.
Yeah.
I've seen him like spar a little bit with like Luke, and even Luke's kind of like, all right, I'm gonna be careful with this guy because he's gonna fucking throw it.
Mm-hmm.
But shout out to Adam Borks and to Giraffe Choke, and then you saw Chael retired.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's kind of about time. He should have retired like 5-6 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
I love Chael.
He had his
I think
time.
he's hilarious.
Yeah.
But he's got his submission underground tournament.
He does.
He just has to
does.
focus on that more.
Is that happening in Portland?
Yeah, that's all in Portland. He's
Is
not
that the one
gonna travel.
AJ's on?
You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
crazy.
AJ's grappling.
AJ is grappling against Craig Jones, and he's
Oh,
been training with
man.
Neil Melanson on it.
Yeah.
Who's been training with Neil? Craig?
AJ.
Oh, AJ. Ah, okay. All right.
Yeah, oh, you
That's
kidding
good.
me? Well, as soon as I found out, I texted AJ. I was like, bro, is this for real? He's like, yeah. I'm like,
I know. I
No,
saw
he
the
posted-
post.
yeah,
I
he
thought it was a
posted on
joke too.
Instagram.
Yeah.
I was like, is this Craig Jones?
it's like I didn't know that they were
Man.
friends like that. That you could fuck around like that.
Yeah.
Like, no, they're not. They're definitely going to compete. And I think he's
Yeah.
actually trying to do a different one. He's trying to do the same one that that Jay-Z's trying to get on, that Substars.
Oh, okay, yeah,
he's
that's
gonna
coming
do
up.
that too. Yeah, he's gonna do. He wants to take the Nicky Rod challenge.
This is AJ still talking about. Yeah, well, they
There's
good
a
for him.
bunch
man.
of
Good for
guys
him.
on there.
I like to see.
I just think it's funny that it's like he fucking hated like anything.
No,
to
that's
do
what
with
I'm
grappling.
saying. I like to see people progress and evolve as people and in their martial arts careers, because this guy, we all know he's a knockout artist. And if you remember him from back in the day, man, when grappling, like he was like, man, I ain't with that.
He
you
was
know?
like Cosmo. It's like I'm
yeah.
skipping grappling today.
I remember.
He's like, I'm not
asked
doing
him.
it.
I asked him one time, I was like, hey man, where you gonna put the gi on? I said, man, I ain't about that shit. You know what I mean?
Like-
So it's nice to see that he's into grappling now, man.
Did you see
So-
Cosmo calling
Speaking
out
of-
Vitor?
Oh, really? No.
Did he?
You serious right
No,
now?
I didn't
No.
see that.
Oh my
I'll
god!
text him right now.
Cosmo, what are you talking about?
text-
no,
I'll
I
text
did. I was
Cosmo
gonna
right
say, I
now.
just saw Cosmo. He went his first training back from his fight with
Yeah.
Sage was in the gi.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
called him out.
crazy.
bro. He like after he won the Sage Northcutt fight, he made a post that he had an interview. He said like, "Who do you want to fight next?" He's like, "I would love to like welcome Vitor to ONE FC."
Cosmo,
Wow.
you're my hero all over again, bro.
I'm like, because I asked Jay-Z too. I was like, bro, is this for real? He's like, yeah, man, I got to talk to Cosmo, see
Oh,
what's
yeah,
going
I'm
on.
down.
I'm like, you guys
talk
were
to him.
Call him
teammates.
out. Yeah,
I'm like,
it happens.
wow, man, I saw.
Some unfinished business
yeah.
from the gym.
Last time I saw Vitor was last year, and I was doing a photo shoot next door to XPE, and I was like, oh, let me go say what's up to all the XPE people that I know. And I walk in, and it's just one of the coaches and Vitor. I'm like, fuck you doing in here?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, what's going on, man? Like, yeah, I got to stay in shape, keep training. I'm like, you're going to fight again, aren't you? He's like, no, man. I was like, come on, Vitor. Like, I see it. Like, you wouldn't be in here if you didn't want to sit there and fight again. He's like, I've had people ask me, like, I'm thinking about it, this, that, and the
You
other.
got
And
somebody calling you out.
then, like, a month later, like, they make the announcement he's going for, like, ONE FC. It's like, damn. So he hasn't fought yet. It'd be good to
Yeah.
see.
Yes.
Would be good to see.
Who would you got? Who'd you get?
Cosmo.
Oh, come on. That's no
Cosmo all
question
the way.
about that. Cosmo Alexander, bro. Come
you
on.
think that Vitor would want to strike with him, or you try and, like, grapple with him?
No, Vitor is definitely going to want to strike with him, and then I hope Cosmo just tears his ass up.
Damn.
And that's it.
Damn, I didn't know you had it like that for Vitor.
I don't, but I hope Cosmo just fucking fucks his world up, bro. And I don't curse a lot, but we'll just leave it
No,
at that.
people like kind of downplay Cosmo going into the Sage fight.
No,
like
listen.
this guy is legit. You guys gotta recognize.
But that's the thing is people don't know unless you are
Follow
legitimate
Muay Thai.
into Muay Thai, or even then. I mean, he had MMA fights before,
Yeah.
and I said it. I'm like, whoever allowed that deal to go through
Yeah.
must not like Sage.
Yeah, I know.
And I know ONE FC, the way that ONE FC plays their games and they do stuff, so Sage must have gotten a pretty paycheck for that. Because
course.
whoever agreed to that, they wanted the murder. And like ONE FC will do that to people. They'll throw people under the bus. They've done that to Herbert.
There were two factors
Yeah.
involved. Someone definitely wanted Sage to lose, and another person did not know who the hell Cosmo was.
Well, I
but
think
come on,
that's how
they're in
that-
that side of the world. You know what I mean? Thailand is really close. Like
well,
they should know.
Asia loves Cosmo.
They
Yeah.
should.
Asia loves
yeah,
Cosmo.
They
Love
should.
But like,
But-
listen, ONE FC's got Russian money in there now too. So that's the thing.
Right.
There's a lot of like gang activity involved in ONE FC.
Yeah, yo, I got kids, so we're gonna cut that.
Yeah. I'm saying, I can say it. You didn't say it. I say it.
For the
I don't give a
record,
shit.
for the record.
for
Listen.
the record.
So would you fight again or no?
Oh yeah, definitely.
When you gonna fight?
I would love to fight, man. I was gonna, in fact, I was trying to fight June 28th, but that's the
Where?
day I'm leaving with the military for Titan.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good fight for you.
Yeah, but
Lex will
that's
take
the
care
day
of
I'm
you.
freaking leaving, so
Well,
I can't.
if anyone's gonna understand that, it's Lex.
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
for
of
sure.
course,
So
of course,
Yeah.
of course.
He's a really cool
So
guy.
yeah,
speaking of shit talking, did you see Gordon Ryan calling out Robert Drysdale?
I did not see that.
Oh my God, you would have loved
Is
the
it
shit
gonna
talking.
happen?
No, well, so what happened was Gordon wanted to fight Drysdale years ago.
Yeah.
And Drysdale's like basically saying, get on my level. He's like, I don't fight people with no accolades. Like, get a couple of like championships under your belt, and then come talk to me.
Get an ADCC title. Or
Okay.
whatever.
So Gordon, when he got his like
And he got his
championships,
stuff.
and he called him back out, he's like, so they were going back and forth on Instagram. Where's my phone? Like they were talking so much shit back and forth, just for like 2 or 3 days in a row.
He's got to take it now. If he told him that back in the day,
Well, no.
Gordon Ryan's
He's
put in
like,
the
bro,
work.
I've been retired for like whatever amount of years now. Like, I'm not gonna fight you. You would probably beat me in no gi. Yes, like gi is a different thing. It was like a whole different thing, and it was kind of like he definitely waited too long in the whole argument to finally just say it.
Yeah.
But Gordon Ryan is kind of going into the whole McGregor shit talking thing too.
That's what I was saying earlier, man. It's the freaking bad guy persona, you know. And here in America, on the West, man, that shit gets you paid. That's just how it is.
I
That's
mean,
just how
if
it
you
is.
think
People
about it,
love
though,
drama.
If you think about it though, it's in any like event, money making martial art, it happens. It's gonna happen. Glory Kickboxing has it. They're not blatant like stuff like that, but guys are talking shit about each other all the time.
Yeah.
You know,
Boxing has always had it.
Boxing has always had it.
Boxing's the worst.
Boxing is just bad, though. It's like they do such a horrible job at shit talking. They do such a bad job.
It used to be an art form, not anymore.
Well, I mean, like back in
Boxing,
the
at
day,
least.
like
Well, no, boxing will always be the sweet science, but I don't know, man. Like when you walk into, you've been into boxing gyms,
Yeah.
obviously. When you walk into a boxing gym, the air is thick with testosterone. You know what I mean? And ego
And mold.
and
it's fucking disgusting.
Thick with black mold
Listen,
and
if you
spores.
have, that's why like the only reason why all these fighters don't get sick is because they got broken noses. Because anybody with a normal nose that walks into a legitimate boxing gym, you're gonna have a sinus infection by the end of the day. You can mark my words. I've been in some shit gyms. Like you know from what I've done, I've walked into so many gyms everywhere around the world. If you don't cover your nose up, you're gonna fuck up.
You know what? I'm gonna add a little controversy to this podcast.
Oh, now who's got the agenda?
Right?
You
just
He
brought
just
it
moved
up.
his
You just
phone
brought it
too.
up.
He
I know,
looked it
right?
up. He
Just
looked
to
at
make
his
sure it's
agenda.
on.
Here's my thing. I just want somebody to answer this question,
Okay.
right? So why is it when a MMA guy goes to a boxing gym, he has to do boxing? Now, of course, I completely understand. You're going to a boxing gym, you want to learn boxing, you're gonna do boxing, right? But then a boxer comes to an MMA gym, and then everybody has to do boxing. Why is that?
Because their legs don't have the 10, 15 years of buildup that everybody else in the fucking room does. And he's also guaranteed the one that's making the most amount of money of everybody in that fucking room.
But here's the thing.
He's gotta protect himself.
Here's the thing. Them boxers have this notion, right? This idea that they're just way better at fighting
Than MMA fighters.
because they don't put themselves into that situation where you're actually in a real fight versus one dimension.
Well, you just answered
see what
your
I'm
own
saying?
question. We both know the answer.
I
It's
want-
like they're
I-
not gonna have.
I-
Remember
I
how many
want
times
this-
do we see Rigondeaux at the gym?
Yeah, he never
Yeah,
did MMA.
exactly.
Of course, but the majority of times he was there, he was prepping for his own fights.
Right.
Correct. So, but I'm talking about when an MMA fighter period goes to a boxing gym. Yeah, you're gonna do boxing, but when a boxer comes to an MMA gym, everybody has to cater to them.
I mean,
I
outside.
can't
of the,
stand that.
Outside of the shit
what I'm
talking,
saying.
outside of like just like okay, we're saying like MMA and like in an actual fight. Outside of that, it is more beneficial for every single one of those MMA fighters to be learning the boxing from him than it is the other way around. 100%.
Yes. On the occasion where he's actually teaching, correct?
Correct.
Right.
If you come
When
in the
he's
gym
actually
for
teaching.
sparring-
But if you're coming in there
You go to
to
an MMA
train,
gym, you should.
let's say just if the boxer's coming in there to train, to spar, right? Why does everybody only have to box?
No kicks today.
Yeah,
No kicks, no
that.
takedowns.
And I understand. I mean, it's not fair. It's not fair for the MMA fighter to just go beat him up because whatever. It's easy.
Yeah,
at that
what are you gonna
point.
get? It's like
You know what I
you
mean?
might as well
But
have.
I don't like when a boxer will come in and and they're shielded, they're protected, and then they leave with the idea that
they can
that
hang
they're
with
better.
them.
You know, I don't like that.
I don't disagree with you. I think I'm looking at it from a money and gym owner perspective as a coach. Again, it comes down to all these fighters are going to get more out of this training session by doing it that way than to have the boxer fend for his life, possibly blow an ACL just because
not be able to box.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of
it.
one of those things. It's not an unspoken rule, but it's one of those things like if I'm the boxer and you're the MMA fighter, you know, I know, we both are gonna try and protect our egos to a certain aspect of it. But at the end of the day, we both know, like, if I don't catch you with my hands, then I'm fucked. But if I catch you with my hands, you're fucked. So it's kind of like maybe. I don't know, man. There's a couple of people that got hands. Like that's why I want to see what, like, that's why I think it's funny with the Lobov Malignaggi fight. It's like, well, you gotta have. The MMA fighter is going to have tougher hands. Well, anybody's got tougher hands than Paulie.
That's what I'm saying. He's definitely going to break his hands
sure.
this fight. But then he told me he's getting gloves. So they're obviously going to wrap.
They're going to be thin.
They're going to wrap hands also?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to wrap hands and they're just going to have like a light.
I mean, he broke his hands with pillows on him. So he's, regardless of what, he's probably going to break his hands in this fight.
Yeah.
It's like once you have that many microfractures and you're not going to end up really healing them all back up. Maybe his hands had time to toughen up, but listen, he got rocked by Connor. Like,
I saw the clip.
It's kind of like you still just, all you're going to do is take that shot. You got miles and miles compared to Artem. So let me see. Bare knuckle poly fight. Let's see, rules. I'm pretty sure that I'm 99% sure I read that they're gonna have gloves on of some sort.
While he's looking that up, what's the date for the Zenobia Open again?
It's August 11th.
August 11th.
Sunday, August 11th.
It's the day after my birthday.
August 11th. 2 weeks before.
2 weeks before Old Master Worlds, and that's in Las Vegas. Yeah, and 2 weeks after Orlando Open. So if
The Orlando Open is July 27th, 28th.
Yeah, so it's about 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
A week and a half or so. Yep.
Yeah.
That's gonna be gi and no gi. Should be a good tournament.
Yeah. Are you gonna do Orlando?
Thinking about it.
I'm gonna do it.
I would like to drop a weight class. We'll see.
I got so screwed over with BJJ Tour.
Why? You had to go
Because
up?
I
Oh, yeah, I saw that. You had to go up like 2 weight classes.
Well, I went up because so after I did my kickboxing tournament last year, kind of fucked up a little bit on the food and kind of got bigger because I got muscle,
Yeah.
but I stayed up there, so I stayed at 225.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm not gonna kill my weight like
No.
over like BJJ Tour, like IBJJF, like I'll come back down, whatever. So I can't find it, but I'll update it later on. So I was like, screw it, I can do 222. So I was going to drive up Friday night, and I'm like, I'm not going to make weight this way. So I stayed, did an hour in the sauna. Cool, 4 pounds. I just don't drink or eat anything. Wake
Yeah.
up at 2:16, enough to have a cup of coffee, piece of bread, and I'm cool. Like, I don't have to worry about it the rest of the day.
Yeah.
1 match is all I had.
Okay.
The other guy came down from, like, open. So he was like, there's no way he was my weight.
Yeah.
So he
How much
was...
did he weigh?
I'm assuming
Open.
because I did. Well, I'm
Oh,
assuming.
he came down from open.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
how
he
much did
did-
he weigh? Open.
Yeah, no, he did like he didn't have to cut. So I'm assuming he probably weighed a solid 235, 240. Like he's cool. I'm gonna try and get him on the podcast just to like ask him and stuff too. But he
Yeah.
wasn't. He for sure wasn't 222.
Yeah, he'd have to sit in the sauna for an hour.
Because he even said, or like even said it to me, like, because we started talking about it after the fact. I'm like, are you doing the open? He's like, yeah, but I don't think you and I are in the same weight class. I'm like, I know we're not in the same fucking weight class. Asshole, trust me, I know. But no, it was just that one was stupid. Like I was fine. The scales were so far off. You know, their little test scale said that I was 222 on the dot. I'm like, or no. Yeah, I was like 221. I'm like, all right, cool. I can have a sip of water, like just to hold me off, you know? Then I finally get onto the scale, the real scale, 217, 216. Like, I could have been drinking this whole fucking
Yeah, you could
morning.
have had something else to
They
eat.
probably had it on a soft surface, like a
No,
carpet or something.
it was the
Hardwood?
Yeah, it was the hardwood. Even then, doesn't
Oh,
matter.
the
The
scale
hardwood.
was just jacked.
Yeah, well, it was a piece of shit, like Home Medics, $10 scale from
Oh.
Bed Bath and Beyond.
Yeah.
So it's like I knew it was gonna be off, but I knew that compared to the one I have at home, that whether it's 2 or 3 pounds, like I'm good, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But not down to 216, 217.
Yeah.
Like, man, that's 3 pounds of water I could at least had and
Yeah,
feel hydrated,
exactly.
even if it was just one match.
Yeah.
But
I know it's always confusing. Like for the weight classes, like should you drop? Should you just stay? Like I competed at light was the last division I competed at. I felt strong, felt good. I could eat. You know, I wasn't worried about having that added stress about losing
Yeah.
any water or not eating or drinking the whole day. Like I just kind of chilled out the whole day until I competed. Like whereas if I want to drop a weight class, like that's
You get
another
the
stress. Yeah.
But see, I feel like difference between us doing that compared to like an MMA like weight cut is if you really focused in on your training,
Mm-hmm.
like not in the gym but like outside of the gym, the conditioning and everything, and the food, like you can easily do it.
Yeah.
You can easily drop that weight no problem without stressing it. You just have to be super clean cut on everything.
Yeah.
Compared to like, okay, you got to do that and you got to cut the water weight the week up.
Yeah, MMA fighters, yeah. It's a science to the MMA weight cut.
Look at what Mikey did. Mikey had to go
Oh my
shave his head
Gosh, that was
for
crazy.
0.4 ounces.
It's crazy what he did. And then you got to weigh in with the gi, which is a pain also,
So
I
stupid.
think, yeah. And then, so Orlando is gi and no gi.
Yeah.
Like, if you're doing both days, you just weigh in the first day with your gi on. I don't really know how that works.
It's
And then the
kinda-
next day, you have to weigh in again? No gi?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you still have to.
You have to weigh in both days?
Yep.
Oh,
That's
okay.
crazy.
Yeah, you have to weigh in both days. It's two separate, all, like, manners of speaking, it's two separate tournaments, just done at the same weekend. The same
Yeah, that's
event.
true. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
That's
yeah,
why
thank
some
God.
people can do 2 different weight classes, like, the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that makes no sense to me. It's like, okay, so I do this one at light early in the morning and then do the heavy one in the afternoon. Like, I'm good. I don't need all that stress in my
No,
life.
I
Like,
don't, I don't either. No,
I get
thanks.
either way. If I go back down to 205, then I'm fine. Like my
Mm-hmm.
biggest thing has always been like having the strength to, because it's always been for me.
exactly.
It's always the guys are stronger. It's always the guys are stronger.
Yeah,
it's
if you
never the
drop-
technique. It's they're always stronger.
Yeah, and especially like I'm short, so I feel great. I feel strong at lightweight or featherweight. Which one do I want to go to? You know what I mean? I feel
Let me
less
ask you
stressed
this
or
though,
whatever.
because it always pisses me off when they have the open weight, like the open like absolute weight, and it's like someone your size or someone my size, and then you get someone Shawn size. What do you think?
What I
Should that
think?
be allowed? Should that really be allowed? Like
It's open
regardless
weight.
of being
You know,
open
it's
weight.
you know that's.
But does that really count as jujitsu?
Well, I mean,
flying arm bars all
what's the
day? That's all I
tradition?
got.
What's the history of jiu-jitsu? The big guy versus the little guy, right?
Yeah, but then
So
why?
in a
True.
sense, in that sense, yeah, it's.
That
legal,
could also
you know,
happen
it's-
at my
it's allowed,
tournament too. We don't even know. The girls are gonna show up. Like, all right, number 1, Stephanie, you're at lightweight. Number 1 on the other team is,
So
super
you-
heavyweight.
Yeah.
But to be fair, back then it was one guy knew what he was doing, while the other guy, was just like a street thug or whatever. And
Well, you
today,
gotta, like-
today people like Shawn, who are gigantic, know what they're doing. So
Yeah,
It's-
but
it's
even
different.
then, like, then they stall out, and it's like, oh, okay, so I lost because some fat
yeah,
guy decided to lay on
that
me the whole
happens too,
time.
But
It
Then
does
wouldn't you be
happen.
mad?
I would be mad.
well, yeah, I mean,
I would be
hey,
mad because I'm just there to compete.
I've
You
been-
know,
I've
like
been in-
don't hold me down.
Like, if you're gonna
Let's go.
beat me, but
Yeah.
don't just like lay down. Like, okay, like that's what pisses me off because it's
Can't let
happened to
those
me
kind of people
twice.
take you down. Can't let those people take you down, man.
Man, this guy got me good too. Like, he tried to throw me,
Uh-huh.
and then like he just messed up, so I went straight to his back.
Oh, nice.
He went for like a drop sayonagi, and then
Yeah.
just went boom straight to the backpack.
Yeah.
And I just, oh my
bow and
gosh,
arrow.
I had the bow and arrow, and man, I'll talk more about it afterwards because I have my own thoughts, and I don't want to like really talk shit about the guy who's a super nice guy, but. That was the longest 5 minutes of any tournament I've ever had. It was the
I
longest.
don't know. Those competition clocks, they tick to a certain different time, like you're nearing a black hole or something, or
I
time
just
slows down.
1.1 seconds.
Listen, like I just remember like scramble, going, holding, doing a million things happen at once, and I look up, it's like 3:47.
I was gonna say 4 minutes and 30 seconds left out of a 5-minute match. I'm telling you, that clock.
Well, it's even
gotta
worse
be near
for
a black
like
hole.
MMA, like for like that last fight, because I remember like seeing you look up at the clock, and like I never see you look up trying to find the clock that often.
It wasn't.
And that
It was more of, because if you remember, the guy kept me up against the cage, very similar to what we're talking about now. He was kind of just like laying on me, and I had to go up in weight class. I couldn't find a fight at 145, so I went up in weight, and he was able to control me up against the cage. He was a bigger dude. And that's when I looked up at the clock. I was like, how long have I been up against this damn cage? You know?
There was a couple of times that you were held up against the cage.
Yeah,
for a while.
rewatching the fight. I was up there for a little over 2 minutes.
Yeah.
The ref should have broke that up. But
who was the ref? I forget. It was the.
You know what? I love the guy. I don't know his name.
Was it the short dude with the semi? It wasn't Mike. It wasn't Mike Cardoso. Not Cardoso. Mike.
I'm horrible with names, but great with faces.
He's on the podcast too. I gotta hit him up. It wasn't Mike. I'm pretty sure it wasn't Mike, because Mike is really good at being fair. There's a couple of the other refs, like for
it took Jay-Z turning around and telling me, talk shit.
Yeah,
tell him to break. And I was screaming.
But here's
everyone
the thing.
around me
Here's
was
the thing.
screaming.
As a fighter, I took the fight. It was my decision to do so, so I should have been able to get off the fence.
For sure.
Hats off to the man. He did what he had to do to win.
No, you guys had a good fight, man. I thought it was a good fight. You had a couple of really good body shots, like kicks and like full on body shots that they were good. Because I remember you hitting them like, fuck, that was a solid shot.
Yeah,
and he was getting them.
There's a few good ones.
He may have got the decision, but I know he was hurting a little more than I was the next day. So. I'll take that.
It was a good fight because I know him too. I forget his name, but I know him too. Like from all the times I've been at ATT and stuff, he's a good dude. So I know there wasn't anything bad.
Yeah, no.
Nah, he was a good dude. He was. You know, we spoke after the fight. You know, we may have fought, but you know, we're human beings. And afterwards, I'm not with that, you know, trash talking or anything like that. So I went up. I asked him if he was all right. He asked me if I was all right, and everything was good. So congratulations to him. Again, I'm horrible with names, great with faces, so I forget his name too. But if you're out there listening, man, good stuff, bro.
So do you know what the next one's gonna be? Like obviously,
as soon as I get back. So whenever I get back, I'll be out.
So is it July?
I'll be out for a month. No, I'm coming back August. So whenever.
No, but I'm saying that when you're leaving July, the fight was supposed to be July.
June 28th. I leave.
June 28th.
The end of this month, and I come back August 2nd. So
damn, you get to have to deal the whole month without this guy.
Yeah, I know. That's hard.
Well, that's because do you have 2 weekends a month or?
No, just
he's gonna be teaching.
OPSEC. I can't get in. I can't get in too. I can't get in.
Now I gotta ask.
I've already given
secret.
too much information.
Is it really? Like no, seriously.
No, for real. Yeah.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm gone for a little while. I'll come back and then hopefully get straight into a fight camp.
Do you know anybody that does sniper training?
A few people. Yeah.
No, like serious, because I want to do it. Like I can't do. I would. If he hears this, he's gonna like shoot me anyway. But I'd go to Vigilant Elite because I know the guy. He did some of the training for Keanu Reeves for John Wick. He did like a couple of courses.
Yeah, isn't there a place down in Miami right now? That's
Vigilant.
That's the place.
Yeah. That's Shawn. Shawn's a good dude, but his classes are like a year ahead of time. So I've been wanting to do like long range shooting forever. So I just go out there by myself.
I know the name of this guy, Tyrone Coronel. He's a Colombian guy. He has full blown freaking loves America. This guy, like, he named his daughter America. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, this
That's
guy,
the second person I've met with that name.
Yeah, really, like, this guy, I love this guy, man. Tyrone Coronel. He has his own security company, but it's more like black ops type stuff.
Right.
So I can get in contact with him and.
Yeah, but if he has like actual like sniper training school, like I'd love to sit there.
I'm
and do
sure
that stuff.
if he doesn't, he knows someone who does.
Yeah. No, for sure. Let me know because that's something like I've always wanted to do, like the long range shooting. Yeah. But there's too many crazies down here in South Florida. Every time I go to the range, either Markham Park or to the sheriff's range, there's some weird people, man. There's some weird fucking people. Yeah. All right, I'll let you guys go. It's getting late. You got kids.
Yeah.
I'm hashtag team single, so I don't have to worry about that stuff. I'll be up late. Amazonian BJJ
Zenobia
tournament.
Open.
Zenobia Open.
August.
People want to message you.
Yes.
Don't want to get in on this.
Yep. Find me on Instagram, Amazonian BJJ.
I'll have like all the links on the descriptions of everything
and
too.
on Facebook, and you can find me Stephanie Santana. Message me with any questions. Message me if you want to support, sponsor. We're looking for, some help with that. I already have Tatami send me a bunch of gear. We're
Nice.
gonna
Shout
be
out to
raffling
Tatami.
off.
You guys have always been supporters of Amazonian Women's
anytime
Jiu-Jitsu.
I've
We
messaged
greatly
these
appreciate
guys,
you.
Gareth is the man.
They send me stuff. Yeah,
Gareth
really
is
great
man,
guys. And
yeah.
then also my strength and conditioning coach, Ryan, with Force Fitness. He's supporting, helping me out with the design for the shirts because I am not artistic at all. So,
No, I know, right? I know,
so
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
guy. He's helping me out. So if you know any higher belt females, send them my way. We'll get them on a team.
Who would your dream competitor be for that?
Oh man, I want to put together a black belt team because I think that would be badass. I want to put together 5 female black belts against 5 other female black
That would
belts.
be kind of bad.
I would actually do
I would,
5
yeah.
black belts against 5 brown belts.
That would be good.
Because
It would
then,
be
like,
good,
cause then
yeah.
it's like you gotta you have to go chop off the head. You gotta go
And as a brown belt,
Yeah.
it's less pressure.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So you just go
Like
for
everybody
it.
automatically thinks you're gonna lose.
You just go for it. Yeah, you're going against a black
That'd be,
belt.
like-
Yeah,
Just
that's
freaking go
actually pretty
for
interesting
it.
if you
I
think
mean,
about it.
I'm sure there's a lot of guys too for brown belts would be like, I'd love to because you make your name cutting off heads.
Yeah.
You know.
Make your name. Oh, this
I mean,
brown
look
belt
at- look
women's
at-
team
look at
beat
Mikey
the black
and
belt
Tammy when they
women's
were
team.
brown belts. They
Yeah.
could have competed against any black
Yeah,
belts.
that's
you know?
how Sofia Amaranci made her name. She beat Leticia Ribeiro as a brown belt
Yeah.
when Leticia was a black belt for how many years, it's less pressure.
You know, just go ahead, drop that mic. You don't have to give me credit. You can go ahead and use that. No,
It's coming.
No, man. Thank you for having
Thanks
us.
for
no
having
thanks for
us.
coming
Really
out. Sorry it
appreciate
took
it.
so long to get you guys on here.
Logistics.
It's really supposed to be all about Stephanie, but I know Jason likes the limelight.
Nah, it's all good. Man. Supporter. That's it.
He's my number 1 supporter.
Always.
No, that's for sure. No, that's for sure. They want to follow you. Where can I get you?
Man, this is all about Steph, Amazonian Women's Jiu-Jitsu. But
You can be
Jason
security
Santana
for
MMA or Jason Santana 36 on IG. That's it.
this.
Instagram.
All right, airtime.
Sergeant Airtime. It's
Yeah.
new.
But yeah, if you can, go follow Amazonian Women's Jiu-Jitsu, Facebook and Instagram, Amazonian BJJ.
Awesome. No, thank you guys for doing it. Make sure everybody follow Steph, follow Jason, go support the tournament, and hopefully we can set up the video stream when we get it
Yeah,
all set up because
let's
it'd be
do
good.
it.
It'd be good for the sponsors too, so we can sit there and throw
Yeah,
that
that was a
out there.
great idea.
Awesome.
Yeah, we can do that. Cool. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Whoosh.